In this episode, I am answering all of your Q&A questions that you have been submitting throughout the month of May. We're talking about how to get a dead community to engage, how to know if your membership idea is actually good before you build it, how to continue to grow a community that grew really quickly but now is plateaued, how to make sure your members actually get results in your membership, and more. It's a really good one, so let's get into it. Welcome to the $1 Million Memberships Podcast, where we help entrepreneurs like yourself start, grow, and scale multiple 6- and 7-figure online memberships with simple, step-by-step strategies that actually work.
Your life is about to get so good.
Let's dive in. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Memberships Podcast. Obviously, if you are watching, you can see we've got some things going on. We've got some updates, and I'm so excited. I actually think I have to come and do a little update on maybe next week's episode or maybe the one after, but I just can't wait. Obviously, we're moving. Boxes, dead giveaway. But I just cannot wait to share the story behind where we are moving to. I'm just absolutely blown away. I'll get into that next episode because I'll just start yapping about it if I don't move on right now. But in a couple episodes, you'll be able to see. And I'm so excited to take you along on the journey of what it has really been to get there. But I'm really excited for this episode. You guys know I love our monthly Q&As. And really quick before we get into it, if you don't know, at the last Monday of every single month, I do a membership Q&A. So I'm really just answering questions that I've gotten from you guys, whether that is through Instagram DMs. Sometimes I put that questions box feature on my stories, or if you're sending it to our email, which is support@paigevandy.com. We have it listed in the show notes or description. I also just get a lot of you sending messages to me on Instagram at the Membership Muse, just asking your questions, and I usually like to screenshot them and answer them really fully on the podcast. However you send your questions, I love getting them, and if you didn't know you could send questions to have them answered on the podcast, now you do. Please send your questions. It's my favorite thing to do at the end of the month, and I hope that you're also getting a lot of value from these. And one more update before we actually get into the questions, because we have a lot of ground to cover. This episode might be a little bit longer, maybe like an hour, maybe not, I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, we have a lot of ground to cover, so I do want to get into it. But before I do, if you're listening to this in real time, something that is really exciting is we are now ending off the month of May 2026. In the membership space, I'm a huge fan of taking that first year of building your membership and really labeling that and running that as your founding member year. A lot of people like to do founding member month, which is great. I do that as well. But also, I really like to look at the first year of running a membership, a new membership, as the founding year, because it really does take a year, sometimes a little bit more, to really see what works inside of the membership, what doesn't, what's getting people results. Is there any sticky points people are coming to in terms of content delivery? Maybe all the content's there, but maybe the way that it's delivered to the members could be better. You know what I mean? There's so many things that you need to look at in that first year of running a membership. So the first year of running any membership, I've done this with all my memberships, is the first year I like to give founding members pricing. So I like to actually price my membership for much lower than it's actually worth, because I think of it as a founding members year. And I also really like to get feedback from our members, especially in that first year, all the time, but especially in that first year of, all the things that I just said. And the first year is kind of tough when you're growing a membership, because not only are you trying to establish a new membership to your audience, this is a really important point, so stick with me. Not only are you trying to establish a new membership to your audience, it's usually, for most people, a slower growth because you're in that first year trying to establish. The first year can be tough because you are pricing it lower. You're also working so hard to establish the culture, so you're giving more to the membership. So the people who are in the first year of your membership, they actually kind of really luck out, because they get so much of you, and they really get that hands-on support, more so than, when you scale your membership and you start to get many more members inside of it. Now, here's the thing. We are officially out of our first year in $1 Million Memberships Club. We're a little bit more, obviously, but we are counting May as the cutoff there, which means June 1st our investment is always also going up because this whole last year it was priced incredibly low for what our members get. Like truly, we have members in there who are like, holy shit, I have paid more than $1,500 a month for a mastermind that gave me half of what $1 Million Memberships Club is giving me. June 1st, our pricing is going up, which means if you are listening to this in real time, you still have a week to get in. Right now it's $147 a month. It's going up to $247 a month June 1st, which honestly is still incredibly low, but that's our first price increase, okay? Or you can get in our annual, so you get the membership for an entire year all in for only $14.97. Plus, that comes with a private kickoff call with me and access to our membership founders operating system. So if you're wondering what that is, it's a template that you literally plug into your backend, and it has every single task that you need to remember to do as a membership founder, from daily tasks, checking in with your community, to weekly tasks, to monthly tasks, sending out newsletters, sending out membership updates, quarterly tasks, sending out retention surveys, like all those little nuanced things that you just kind of, they live in your head, or you're like, oh my God, there's so many things to do. I can't just constantly keep a schedule up. We give you that. So if you are signing up for our annual before June 1st, you get the entire year of the club, the community, our support calls where you get so much private support on our support calls, by the way. All of our workshops, all of our past workshops and recordings, all of our membership challenges, all of our templates, our resources, a call with me, our operating system, literally everything, like $15,000 mastermind type situation is like what you are getting for $14.97. Just over $1,000. And then June 1st, that is going to be going up to $24.97. So if you've been thinking of getting inside $1 Million Memberships Club, you keep telling yourself, I'm going to get in, but it's just not a good time, get yourself in. And highly, highly recommend you get in annual because it is such an insane deal. All right, that is my little spiel before we get into the episode. If you want to get into $1 Million Memberships Club, hit the link in the show notes or the link in the description. It is right there for you. Come join us. And then after June 1st, we will also be closing the doors, by the way. So the next time we open is going to be when our new prices take effect. All right, let's get into the actual question. So our first question is, I've been running my membership for 8 months and my community is basically dead. Members paid to join, but nobody posts, nobody engages, and I feel like I'm talking to myself. What am I doing wrong? There are so many things to look at here. Like the diagnostic tests are, there's a lot. There's a handful, maybe a couple handfuls here, but it's usually going to boil down to these main things. If your community is not engaging, if it feels dead, if you're the one doing everything, it's usually going to boil down to these things. Number one is your members don't know how to use the community. So it's never been demonstrated to them. If you are just starting your membership and you're starting with a small number of people, you need to work really, really hard yourself to show people and demonstrate how you want the community to be used. Do you want people to be posting in there all the time, every day, really checking in? Do that then. You post in there. Do you want people to be engaging with people, leaving long answers that are supportive to other people, or just like liking people's stuff? Then you have to be the one doing that. So really think of, how do you want people to use your community? And number one is you need to be the person who really starts that. And then you're going to find that you'll get your all-star people who will start slowly doing the same thing as you. And then something that you can do is when people start to kind of like catch on, and some people, you'll probably get like maybe 1 or 2 people at first doing and kind of engaging how you are, let them know, message them, send them a message, say, oh my gosh, I am just seeing you in the community and I just want you to know how much I appreciate that. And I love seeing you in there. It's amazing. This is going to be amazing for your results, all the things. Okay. So you really want to, if you have people who are starting to do what you want people to do in the community, make sure they know it and confirm that to them, because that's how you're going to start getting that trickle, and then that will start to create the community culture. So that's number one. Number two is members don't feel connected to the community. So people come into your membership, and if they don't just immediately feel connected to the community, they don't feel like they know where to post, or they haven't been told to post, or they don't know how to start conversations with members, or they get into the community and there's nothing really happening, then likely they're not going to feel connected to the community. So it's really important that you as the founder have things in place that as soon as people come into your membership, they are being brought into the community, whether that is introducing themselves and then having a task to go comment on someone else's post, or whether that is personally messaging them and inviting them to a call, saying that you'd really love to see them on your next call and letting them know what the call is about. Really trying to get people connected. Obviously, as you scale your membership, you can have people doing this for you. But again, if this is you, then you're likely going to be doing a lot of this yourself until you start getting support from team members, volunteers, that kind of thing. And number 3, your members might not actually understand the benefit of posting and being in your community, meaning it hasn't been clearly conveyed to your members what result is directly tied to them being in the community. So for an example, if you have a community of people who are really trying to attain a certain lifestyle, maybe being inside of the community is directly tied to them keeping motivation to continue whatever lifestyle they're trying to learn, or making connections and meeting people who are also living that way of life so that it can reinforce it for themselves. So whatever it is, whatever your reasoning is, like specifically for why you would want people engaged in the community, it has to be really relevant and like conveyed to your members of what that is. They need to actually understand what that result is, or else people aren't going to do things that aren't going to benefit them, right? So it's very important they actually know what the purpose is. Number 2 is, how do I know if my membership idea is actually viable before I spend months building it out? Number 1 tip is just include your audience. People get so nervous and like don't want to tell people what they're working on and like don't want to actually show people stuff until it's fully ready. And in reality, like people really want to see the behind the scenes. They want to be included. And also, when you include your audience, when you include people who are on your social media or wherever your audience is, they're going to feel more connected to your membership before it's even ready. So if you are in this position where your membership's actually not ready yet, it's just an idea, this is freaking awesome, because also building things in public, like showing people the behind the scenes, that is something that in 2026, when I'm recording this, people want. Like people are craving that. They want to see the behind the scenes. They want to see the messiness of it and the thought process. And people are overseeing this like perfected finished product. People want to see that stuff. And so like I felt like I was having this conversation with we had a inside $1 Million Memberships Club. We have 2 specific kind of calls. We have our strategy calls, and then we have our support calls. Our support calls are basically where like you just come on and whatever you're working on, it's just a place for you to get personal support and direction so that you know exactly what you need to be doing for the next month until our next call, and like you feel really good and you get all your questions out, and it's just really, really supportive. Anyways, we were having this conversation. I'm 34, and we were having this conversation that people my age and like older, we come from this generation where when social media started and like when we first really got on, perfection was the aesthetic, right? Like everyone had these perfect posts and these perfect filters, and reels weren't a thing. Like videos weren't really a thing. Like Instagram was literally just for pictures. And so everyone would filter the shit out of them and make sure that their feed was cohesive and lined up. And like, we just wanted this perfect everything. And there wasn't really like a behind the scenes messy building thing. People just didn't do that. People were like really, products are only coming out when they are perfected, and like everything had to look perfect. People weren't really being vulnerable online like they are now. And for us, we're low. And if you're my age or in your 30s or 40s or 50s, whatever, I feel like it's extra hard, or like, I shouldn't say extra hard. I should say like extra unnatural, which I guess kind of makes it extra hard. Maybe it's just like unnatural to want to show the messy behind the scenes and the messy middle and like all of the stuff, right? So I get it. And it does feel unnatural and it does feel weird and scary. And I feel like that's why we don't do it. But it truly is what people are craving and wanting now. And I think, like, honestly, if you're starting something new right now, I think that's awesome. I think you are in such a good position to do so because of that. You get to build so much faster because you can take people behind the scenes. And by the time your product is actually ready to get people signed up for it, people are ready to go. Whereas if you do everything in secret, you have to work extra hard once it's ready. So I think it's like the absolute perfect place to be. So going back to this, because I kind of went on a little tangent there, but take your audience along with you. If you have your membership idea, I'm guessing there's like some sort of proof of why you want to start this or why you have this idea. Like, for example, maybe there's something you're really, really good at and your family and friends continuously are asking you about that thing. Or maybe like your audience has expressed interest that they want you to create this thing, or maybe you're already doing this thing at like a one-on-one level and now you want to build a community, like whatever it is. I'm sure there's some kind of reason and like proof. So talk to those people, ask them, is this something you'd be interested in? Personal favorite approach, and I teach this inside $1 Million Memberships Club. We have a whole section on, if you don't have a membership yet, here's how you pre-sell, here's how you get it ready. Something that I teach our members to do is start getting people in the doors before it's even ready. I personally don't build anything until I'm already being paid to do so. So in a nutshell, instead of making this like a 40-minute segment on its own, vet your audience, see if it's something they'd be interested in, warm them up to the idea, get them excited for it, show them behind the scenes of you mapping out your ideas for it and your plans for it. Start hyping them up on what this membership is going to help them do, what would be inside of it, what they would get. Get people on some sort of interest list or a wait list that, hey, would you be interested in this thing? Cool, put your name and your email here. When it's ready, you'll be the first to know. Then pre-sell your membership before it's even ready, because you have the proof of concept right there. You have the demand right there. You have people saying they want this thing. Send them out an offer. Say that they can get in early for annual and get a massive discount and some bonuses, and make it such a no-brainer for them. Kind of as a thank you for like, thanks for believing in this thing early. I know you're going to have to wait a couple months to get in, but if you get in now before it's even ready, you're going to get this. You're going to get it at this price. Just make it so enticing. Then you are literally getting paid to build it. And by the time the doors actually open, you already have members. That is such a nutshell. There's obviously more things inside of there, but if you're in $1 Million Memberships Club, you get that strategy too. And also, by the way, those people will be your best members, your founding members. Those are like your ride or dies who end up staying years and years. Those are also people who usually end up being people that you hire later on and who become like your just all-star members who really shape the culture. Number 3 is I hit 100 members and then it just stopped. New people come in, but just as many leave. I can't figure out if it's my content, my price, my niche, or something else. Where do I even start? So if people are coming in, the thing with memberships are literally data. Everything is data. You just have to know what you're looking for and what you're tracking for your membership. But every single membership problem that you have, if you know exactly what to track, what your KPIs are that you should be looking at, it's such a straightforward fix. You know exactly what needs to be fixed. So if people are coming in and then they're leaving, obviously you're not having a visibility issue. Obviously you're not having a sales issue. People are coming in, but once they get in, they're leaving. So you have a leaky bucket. There's something inside of the community that is not working. You need to fix your community and your retention. So you need to understand things like, what are your engagement rates? How much are people commenting in the community, showing up in the community, posting in the community, responding to other people in the community? What are your call attendance rates? How many people are coming on the call versus how many people do you actually have in the membership? Also, inside $1 Million Memberships Club, we make this so easy for you. We have something called our MDMC Health Checker. It literally just lives right in our app, and you can plug these numbers in. It gives you every single KPI that you need to look for, like your engagement rates, your show up rates, your call attention rate, like a list of things that you need to look for. And then it also tells you what it should actually be. So if anything is ever below the percentage that it needs to be, it will tell you, and then you'll know exactly what needs to be fixed. So if you're overwhelmed with like what you should track inside of your membership or what your numbers actually should be, like what's a good membership versus a bad membership, what are good rates versus bad rates, it's so easy to do inside $1 Million Memberships Club. We literally actually just do it for you. All you have to do is know how many people came to my last call, how many people left this month. Like it's completely easy. Wrap this one up. It's a retention issue. It's a community issue. But within that, there's so many things that it could be. And so it's really important that you know your KPIs for your community and for your retention in terms of engagement and posting and showing up to calls, using content, that kind of thing. And then you can actually narrow it down. But for me to be able to do this on the podcast, I wouldn't be able to tell you. We'd have to actually look at your numbers. But we've got it narrowed down to at least community and retention for you. Number 4 is I do a big launch twice a year, and it's the only time I get new members. How do I get people joining consistently without doing a full launch every single time? First, this is actually a really good strategy. The strategy is not bad. It's not wrong. It's actually very powerful and strategic, and I teach to do minimal launches, but it only works if you have the rest of the strategies in place. This is literally only like a third of the overall strategy that you should have for getting people inside of your membership. If you're going to do an open close membership or like 2 enrollments a year, you need to have backend sales happening 24/7. When I have clients, specifically clients who are scaling their memberships, I love a 1 to 2 times a year open cart strategy. But we always make sure that they have a strong back-end funnel that is getting people in all the time, every other month of the year, without them actually doing a single thing to get people in. It's running completely automated. We also tend to do mini incubator events, which is a term I coined for sales events, for a specific, really specific type of sales event that's like really, really easy to do, not a lot of bells and whistles, very simple, but still gets people in consistently. So you have to have all of these things in place for this 1 to 2 times a year strategy, not to necessarily work, because it will still work, but to scale fast. Like if you are really wanting to grow your membership and like grow it, not just on this like casual speed, but truly hit bigger and bigger and bigger, significantly bigger numbers every single month, and continue to compound it, then you need to have the whole system in place, which is what I personally teach. I know some people don't do it this way. I like to do it this way. And this, just side note too, is why I think it's so important to be in something like $1 Million Memberships Club, because if you were, say, just watching my social media strategy or like watching someone else who had a membership and they were doing something like, say, that we teach inside $1 Million Memberships Club, you would only see 1/3 of the overall system because everything else is behind the scenes. So it's really, really tough to see the whole picture of the entire machine and system if you're just kind of like watching someone to see what they're doing, because that is probably just the tip of the iceberg. You know that picture where it's just like you can see the water and it's like the very tip of the iceberg is poking out of the water, but then you look under the water and it's just like this huge iceberg. Like that is kind of like what the membership strategy is that I teach so much. And so many things that I do with our members inside $1 Million Memberships Club is actually so behind the scenes. Like if you were just watching people on social media, you would never know half the things that they were doing because it is so behind the scenes. And that's really intentional for growing a membership, especially if you're wanting to get people in consistently. So I'm going to plug it, and I'm not even going to say this is a shameless plug because I really don't want you to miss this. This is something that I truly believe if you have a membership, anyone who has a membership needs to be inside $1 Million Memberships Club. It is the best community and the most supportive community for memberships. I actually do not know of another membership that gives as much in not only like templates and resources and things that you can actually use, and that, you know, checklists and roadmaps so that you always know what you need to put inside of your membership for what level you're at or what stage you're at. But then also just the community and the support you get on the calls, like it truly is next level. I think you need to be in it. So make sure you go to the link in the show notes, description, and come join us for our prices go up. And if you're listening to this after June 1st, this is still the absolute most steal of a deal for what you get inside $1 Million Memberships Club. And I intentionally price it the way that I price it because I want it to be something that you can stay in from 0 to 7 figures, something that you can continuously be in and use as your home base, and not just something that, you know, you invest into something really, really high ticket for 6 months and then you can't keep reinvesting because it's too much to continue to do that forever. I want $1 Million Memberships Club to be the thing that you can actually stay in. That's why I say it's priced like a Pilates membership. It's just something that you can always rely on and have every single month. So come get inside and you will see exactly what I mean when I say so much of this is actually behind the scenes. Also, you guys, I swear I work like 3 hours a day a lot of the times, maybe 2 sometimes, really not often. If so much of this was not behind the scenes, I would not be able to do that. So come in, you'll see, and you'll love it. Number 5 is my members aren't getting results, and I don't know if it's because the program isn't good or because they're just not doing the work. Again, I've already said this once in the episode, but I'm going to say it again because it's true. My number one rule with memberships is every problem can be directly diagnosed with data points, with KPIs. That is why tracking your numbers, tracking your KPIs, knowing what you're looking for is absolutely crucial. Did an episode a while back. It was episode 34 called Stop Spiraling, What Healthy Membership Numbers Really Look Like. I give a lot of the numbers in there. I don't think I give every single number, like in terms of engagement numbers you should track and all of the things, but I do give a good starting list in that episode. Definitely go listen to that if you're curious. But you need to be looking at your numbers. So for example, with this question, I would really ask how much of the content is being consumed. Is there content in your backend that's being consumed more than other content? Are people actually completing it, or are they just like getting halfway through and then you're seeing drop-offs? You have messaging in place when people first come into your membership with a success path, like basically saying this is exactly what you need to do. This is the roadmap you need to follow to see results inside of this membership. Is it really clear how they use the course versus how they use the community? Like you use the course to get X, Y, and Z, and then you use the community to implement and get personal feedback. It's really important that you're looking at your numbers and then also your messaging, how you're actually explaining how to use your membership to your members. So again, there's so many factors that can go into this, and you truly need to know your numbers to properly diagnose this. Like your engagement rates, your content usage, onboarding setup, connection points. There's too many variables in here for me to actually give you a personalized answer without knowing those things. But once you know and have your numbers for all of these things, it's so easy to figure it out, which means it's so easy to fix it. And this is also what is going to actually get your membership to grow. Like this is why my coaching works. This is why $1 Million Memberships Club works, is because I'm not just throwing out like vibes and I feel like if you do this, it's going to work for your community. No, every single thing that I do inside of the club is actually stemming from a specific KPI and actually stems from real data that a lot of people don't really build on. A lot of people just build on like vibes and I feel like this is what my members would like and this is what other people in the industry are doing, so it should work for me. My advice to you, sign up for $1 Million Memberships Club using the link in the show notes. Go right to our health checker that is right on the first page. As soon as you come in, you scroll down and you will see our health checker. Then plug in all of your numbers. There's like 5 tabs that you go through. Fill in all of your numbers. It's really easy for you to go and just find them. Like once you actually see our fields, it's really easy for you to actually go and fill in those numbers. And then you will have your answer. You will see exactly where you are lacking. You can screenshot it. You can put it into our community and we can help you work through it. So this goes for everyone. If you are sick of guessing when it comes to building or growing your membership and you just want a really clear path of exactly what you need to do in every single area, not just people saying, well, this works for this membership, so it should work for you, but like actually data and a clear path, and this is what actually will get you to that result. That is what $1 Million Memberships Club is. We give you the clearest roadmap. We give you the easiest way to check your numbers and your data so you always know where you're at. And putting those two together, combined with our challenges that we have, our resources that we have that are just so step by step, getting results inside of $1 Million Memberships, literally the only way you wouldn't get results is if you don't use the membership. Like if you use our membership, if you commit to using our membership and you follow this super simple checklist, it's literally a checklist of make sure you have this, make sure you have this. Okay, now let's go into community and retention. Make sure your members are using your membership this way. Make sure you have this in place. Like you literally just go down the list and check things off, and anything that you don't have checked off, we have a challenge for it. So you go to our challenge, you get what you have to do, you implement, you put it into your membership, and then you sit and you test it and you do the work. The only way that your membership will not grow with $1 Million Memberships Club is if you just simply don't log in and don't use it. It is the only membership that I know of that is specifically meant for membership founders, that we don't talk about anything else. We're not talking about selling courses. We're not talking about selling one-on-one coaching. We're talking about membership. So you can feel so confident that everything in there is just, it's not surface level. It is deep dive into membership. So if you want your membership to be the absolute legacy, something that is going to truly give you the life that you want to be living, you don't want to be spending hours on on calls every day or meetings, and you want to have this life that literally it doesn't matter how many people you have come in. You can have 100 people come in a month. Your workload stays the same, but your income is $20,000 more a month. That is what a membership gives you. I do not know of another membership that gives this much specifics, high level support for memberships, but also gives actual human connection support, the calls, the actual getting your questions actually answered by a human in the community. It is the best place to be. And if you are growing a membership, join $1 Million Memberships Club. Do it right from the start. Don't try and guess your way through everything and literally just get the surface level of everything when really underneath the surface is the majority of the things that you need to be working on. Do it right the first time. That way you're going to grow faster. You're going to have that life that you want to have so much sooner by doing so, not worrying about bills, being able to work 2 hours a day if you want to, having launches and knowing you're going to get members coming in because you know the strategy, you know the numbers that are needed, you know everything, you know all the data needed so you can actually execute this right. And just being able to stack your income every single month and do with that whatever you want to do, make that impact, create an actual world for your people, create an actual culture and a community, something of your own, something that people are excited to talk about and show up in, really just your own world. That's what $1 Million Memberships helps you create. Again, the link for that is in the show notes. If you are listening in real time, our founding member pricing is ending May 31st. So if you've been thinking of joining, I encourage you to come inside the club now. And remember, if you sign up for an annual membership, you'll actually get to hop on a private call with me where we'll be able to map out some personal starting points for you based on where you're at, your membership, and really make sure that you get started on the right foot. All right, that is it for this episode. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will see you in the next one. I'm going to go pack. Bye.